Hey, everybody, welcome to another night of Within the Madness. This is the last time we'll have a night when it's only the men's because women's turn it kicks off tomorrow. And I see you NCAA with the having to be shamed into giving them some weights by outside companies. But we'll have plenty of time to talk about that tomorrow. All right, as far as last night, the late games that we couldn't get to because they were still in action when we were knocking out this show. West Virginia took care of Morehead State, 84-67. Villanova beat Winthrop, 73-63. Syracuse took down San Diego State. That was an 11, knocking out a 6, 78-62. And then Rutgers beat Clemson by 4, 60-56. And that was one of those good old 10-7 wins for Rutgers. We got a couple late games tonight. A second, so I can let you know what the scores are in those. All right, we got top seeded Gonzaga taking on Norfolk State. It's going as expected. It's a 116 matchup, 43-23 at the moment. It's about pretty much at halftime. There's 33 seconds left. And the 6-11 matchup, and this is in the East, 6-11 matchups, UCLA as an 11 seed taking on 6-seeded BYU. UCLA leads 21-17. And a game that will be starting a little bit later this evening, 3-14 matchup in the East region, and that's Texas taking on Abilene Christian. All right. We're going to start today in terms of recapping the early games in the East. 2-seed Alabama beats 15 Iona, 68-55. It was a fun first half, and then, Alabama created this separation in the second half and held on for the win. So you guys just want to share your initial thoughts on that one?
Alabama was just bigger inside. Well, they were bigger across up and down the roster, but inside they were just Iona front court had no answer for Alabama's front court. Their guards played pretty well. Ross had 19, Gibbs had 16, but Alabama's front court, there was no answer for them as far as being on the boards, protecting the rim, and when needed, scoring inside. I think they all rebounded on 42-26. Alabama out rebounded Iona. It's hard to win the tournament when you can't get the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard, man. But like you said, Iona they put up a good fight in the first half. And through halfway the second half, they were in the dog. Alabama was in the dog fight, but then the size and the talent just wore them down. And Iona couldn't really do much. Herbert Jones, who's obviously getting strong NBA considerations. He did what he should do, 26-2. For those that may not know, he's a 6'8" wing, versatile wing, and that's pretty much what dominates the next level. So you have somebody like that who's on some draft boards, a lottery pick, you have to pretty much play flawless to try to beat a team like that. So, honestly, it went in as expected. But shout out to Iona. They did at least put up a fight. It wasn't just a beatdown.
Right.
Yeah, man. Just want to echo what Cardell said. Eventually, their size and talent took over. Iona they did come out and they tried to make a game of it. They did make a game of it early, but as time wore on, the size just wore down on them, and Alabama started controlling the boards a little more heavily and dictating the pace of the game and controlling what was going on. And yeah, at that point, you need something miraculous to happen for you to be able to overcome that. You're obviously already going in at a disadvantage, being a 15 seed playing a 2. We typically know how those matchups go, and you're going to need some type of out of body experience from somebody where it just lights out, or you're going to need a bad night from the favorite guys, and neither one of those things happen.
Yeah, real quick. Shout out to Javon Quinterly. He was huge off the bench, man. I know he had a rough start to his college career. Arizona, then Miller got fired. Then he went to Villanova. Didn't really work there. He didn't get on the floor. So a lot of people wrote him off as being overrated. He ain't complained about it. He disappeared, put the work in. Bounced back to Alabama. SEC tournament MVP, and then he was huge for him. Off the bench, man. He had 11 points of 5 or 7 shooting, and if it wasn't for him being in foul trouble, he had 4. That number could have easily been increased. He was obviously, along with Jones. To me, he was the second biggest difference for Alabama. They had Iona couldn't guard him, and that's why they're advancing.
All right. On the 4th seed of Florida State, they survived against 13th-ranked UNC Greensboro, who they ended up a very good fight. Late game execution was the key in this one. You guys have at it.
Florida State's defense, man. That's that's what got them through because nothing else working. They was 32% from the field, So man, they needed to they needed to stop them because they couldn't score at all. I mean, this is just a prime example of why you need to be good on both ends of the ball. Sometimes the offense not gonna be there, and and they relied on that other end tonight, and it came through for them. But even with how bad things were going, they actually shot 52% from the field. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
they held UNCG to 32%. Is what I misspoke earlier, but they were selective with their shots. They went 0 for 8 from 3 in the first half, but they only shot 1 3 in the second half. So they saw something wasn't working and didn't keep going to it. But yeah, their defense was it in this game. UNCG, they were just handcuffed. They couldn't do anything. And Florida State avoided the scare, man. They still dancing.
Florida State size. I want to meet Leonard Hamilton because he keeps these 7'1" dudes from overseas. He keeps those dudes on the roster. I'm like, where you be finding these dudes? Like, what's his name? Walter Kaprivica, 7'1", sophomore, 240 pounds from Serbia. You know what I'm saying? He keep as tall as long African to protect the best. He's like, now he's like, I see Jokic and all them. Okay, let me go get one of them. It's just crazy how big, and they have NBA length and size, man.
Mm-hmm.
And in college, you don't normally see that. Normally, you 6'9" center, not like 6'8", 6'9", 7'1" front court, man. You don't, and they can move and they're athletic and stuff like that, man. It's just they wear you down, man. They literally wore UNC Greensboro down. And the thing about Florida State teams, but since Leonard Hamilton has been there, they do not let you get to your first option. You have to adjust and if you're not good at executing and trying to get to different options, you're not going to beat them. And like I said, Florida State shot well, but they just wanted to ugly up the game. They really didn't press the score a lot. They relied on their defense to get stops and then slowed the game down, drug it out, and then they just went on the other end and just pounded UNC Greensboro. I like Miller from Isaiah Miller from Greensboro. I think he got a shot if he impressed in a couple workouts, man. He had a solid game. He's a talented guard, quick, can, like a true point guard, quick, but he can also score and defend. He's the complete package, but they needed more than him tonight to beat Florida State. And honestly, they shot 52% from the field because Florida State's front court was scoring. The guards weren't efficient like that. They were, and Florida State was 0 for 9 from 3. You see what I'm saying? So and had 15 turnovers. So they're going to clean it up as they advance, man. It's ridiculous how tough they are, man.
You muted.
You muted, though.
Yeah, my fault. It's probably right because I didn't really have the words properly describe Florida State's. The fact that they stay with an NBA lineup size-wise on a regular basis. And even their guards, like they have above average NBA length. Like shout out to Leonard Hamilton, man. Like you said, that's
coaching
one of
with
those
a 20. So you got to ball hard, right? Your coach over there limping. You can't come over there. So you got who, dog?
Hey, that's one of the things where you don't want to be the guy that he mad at. He got to drag his leg over there to shoot you out. Nah.
Problem.
It's not going to be good. All right, 5th seed in Colorado. They got hot. They started hot, and that's all it took. They didn't look back. Hit like 16 threes efficiently at that. And they got the 12-seeded Hoyas out of there. Georgetown responded with a way better second half. But, what we talked about yesterday? Guard play, right? Your guards come out, start shooting like that. It's hard to cut the water off in the NCAA tournament. It was so hard. And Colorado, they held on And they won. Maybe held on is too strong of a word. They won 96-73. So Colorado will advance. They saw us at them fifth seed struggling. They said it will not be us. We are not going out like this. Them cats got hot, and I think a lot of them, just watching the game, their shooters got a lot of nice, comfortable, and rhythm shots. And they made the most of them.
Jabari Walker for Colorado off the bench, freshman. How you let somebody shoot 90% from the field, though? He had 24 points. No, he had 24.
I think he froze.
Oh yeah. But go ahead, Ray, until he get back.
I mean, just what he was saying about Jabari Parker, 24 points in 20 minutes, 5 of 5 from 3. The Hoyas just weren't there defensively, and it just seems par for the course for teams to light it up from 3 against them in the tournament. That's been the story for like the past 5 trips. So I don't know what it is, man, but this game was over at half. Colorado 16 for 25 from 3. Georgetown couldn't stop a nosebleed. Colorado shot 60% from the field. They had 27 assists as a team. Man, that's just target practice. I don't have much words for that, man. That's
all right. Well, look, if there's not really much to add to it, let's not delay the inevitable, right? There's no reason to do that. Gonna move on. We talked about this 8-9 matchup last night. That it should be fun. It should be an intriguing one. And this was LSU and St. Bonaventure. That 8-9 matchup is usually fun, even in a weird year like this. But we had LSU beat St. Bonaventure 76-61. The Bonnies, like the Hoyas, they had more success in the second half. But LSU closed the door to secure the win. It's no shock who was the leading scorer for LSU. I can't help you if you don't know if you were surprised by that. Young boy's been doing this since he got on campus. LSU played enough defense, and they got a hard-earned win. You guys' thoughts on LSU and St. Bonaventure?
A group effort from LSU, man. Cam Thomas did what he does. Had 27 points. He was real aggressive. Put a lot of pressure on St. Bonaventure. He got to line 13 times, made 11 of them. Then LSU had 3 other guys with double-doubles. Darius Days, 13 points, 11 rebounds. Andre Hyatt, 13 points, 10 rebounds. Trendon Wofford, 11 points, 11 rebounds. LSU, their defense was locked down. St. Bonaventure shot 33% from the field, 15% from 3. And LSU out-rebounded them 49-30 with 14 offensive rebounds. So, like Cardell said earlier, if you can't get the ball, it's hard to win. And, LSU, they just warmed down. They got off to a slow start, but once they settled in, they kind of just got them out the way. They had 49 points in the second half. At a point, it looked like St. Bonaventure was about to make it interesting again. They made 3 threes on back-to-back possessions. But LSU just stuck to the script, made sure they stayed dominant on the glass and got them up out of there. And that was something going into the game LSU was going to focus on because since St. Bonaventure was undefeated this season when out-rebounding their opponent. So, they just made sure they limited those opportunities and was able to convert them on the other end. And they were just aggressive and tougher. They got to the line 22 times, shot 18-22. If you can't keep people from getting free points, then it's hard to win a game that way. But good win for LSU. They just toughed it out.
Too small, man. They were just too small for LSU. Mm-hmm. LSU had 3 players that had a double-double. Hyatt 13-10, Days 13-11, and Wofford 11-11. St. Bonaventure obviously an A-10 team, so I know them very well. Welsh didn't play his normal game. He was 2 for 10. They locked him up. They locked up Lawson, 3 for 18. Adaway had a game. He probably should have been more aggressive. And really, they only have 1 big, and that's also you need. Against that in the A-10, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? Well, a good dominant big man like him defensively and all that. yeah, he can make an impact. But he had to wrestle with 2 or 3 guys with LSU that were just as big and probably more skilled offensively. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't just Wofford and Days. You know, I know LeBlanc, he didn't score a lot, but that's still another big you had to deal with for 13 minutes. And that wears you down if you're the only big battling other, 3 to 4 other bigs on opposite teams. That's why St. Bonaventure was out rebounded the way they were, 49-30. And also that size bothered them. And the pressure defense from LSU forced them to bad shots, took them out their rhythm. They couldn't get into a flow. And that's why as a team they shot 33% and 15% from 3. So they really ran out of options to score the ball to try to keep it close with LSU. And LSU didn't shoot the ball well. Like Cam Thomas, yeah, he had 27, but that's because he got to the line a lot. He didn't really shoot the ball well. You know what I mean? So, but that also shows you why I say he's a professional scorer since he was in high school. He knows how to get points. So it's hard to stop that dude. So if you can't stop him, you can't get the rebound, you're not hitting shots, you're going to lose. Simple as that.
Man, it seems like enough ingredients rather, for
Yes.
L. None of those things you want to pile up against you if you're trying to get a win. These next 2 games don't have highlights for, but Michigan, look, man, they did what a 1 seed's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Texas Southern showed up. They did what they could, enjoyed their trip. 82-66. Michigan, they checked the box. It's time in advance. They're here for something big. Not shocked by this one. 10-7 matchup. Maryland locked up UConn. They did a number on book night. Great defensive job by Maryland as a whole. And then they executed. So was that. They played at their pace. They dictated the terms from the opening tip to the end of the game. And Cardell talked about ingredients. Despite that, Connecticut had a couple chances, but what you can't do in a game when you're locked up, you're shooting 20-some%, is go to the line and proceed to miss all of your free throws. Those don't help. But great job by Maryland. They got the win with a 63-54 victory, and they advance. I think they face Alabama next. What you guys think on that one?
If Eric Ayala keeps going like he did tonight, they got a chance. He controlled the game. He set the tone. He was in a rhythm from the jump. You know what I mean? Even when Maryland was kind of cold, the rest of the team took them a while to get adjusted. He did his thing, and it wasn't just scoring. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. He did it on both ends. Now everybody else just fed off of him. You know what I mean? Wiggins, he shot lights out from 3, 4 for 6. As a team, they shot 9 for 18. They were efficient. UConn didn't pose much resistance, man. I mean, I'm just. UConn, you could tell the lights kind of got to them, and they didn't handle it well. You know what I'm saying? So when you allow a team to shoot 51% from the field, 50% from 3, and 10 for 14 from the free throw line, 71%, I mean, it's nothing much you can really do. You know what I'm saying? And and despite UConn trying to grind it up and out rebound them, they still couldn't make shots. And sometimes it comes down to that in games. Can you make shots? And UConn can make shots for whatever reason, so which is uncharacteristic for them because they got 3 guards that can fill it up. Martin, he's a Rhode Island transfer. I remember him. He came to GW, did work. I know he could put the ball in. He went 1 for 10. Good night, 15 points, but 6 for 6, 1 for 6 from 3. Hey man, it's the same in basketball. When the lights on, it bothers some people. You've seen it throughout the weekend. Some dudes was nervous, and then when they make a shot, confidence disappeared. Went all the way down, first floor. It is what it is.
Man, I can't even share some of the thoughts I had watching them 3 guards. Thinking about that school and the type of guards that are usually there. Ooh, they weren't positive thoughts at all. I wish y'all the best, some of y'all. I don't know if you could come back to school. The one that can, you might want to. But hey, that's up to you and your folks. None of my business. Ray, your thoughts on the Maryland game?
Man, this is just Murphy's Law for UConn, man. Like nothing went right for them. Like Cardell said, Eric Ayala had a great game, 23 points, 5 rebounds. Maryland, they're tough to defend, period, because of the way they spread you out. But UConn, they just couldn't do anything. They went to close out the first half. They went 1 for 16 from the field. When you got a stretch like that, it's just go ahead and close up shop, man. But they had 25 offensive rebounds, but second chances don't matter when you can't score. So it was nothing doing for them.
They couldn't even turn the second chance. They couldn't convert the second chance opportunities. They had to get fourth chances on the second chances and still not hit. It was bad, man. But shout out to Maryland, did a great job defensively, man. They was on a string all night. And hey man, they deserve the advance. That's simple. And like Cardell said, again, I'm gonna be mature here. The lights are the lights, man. Guards, huh?
Hey, I know experience in them do or die college games, conference tournament. Hey, you feel it? You definitely feel it, though. You feel it. So.
All right, on to the West region tonight. Like I said, it's not going to be as long tonight because obviously, as we go every round, every night we talk to you guys, the field is shrinking. That's what's happening on the men's side. They got to jump. Tomorrow, we start with the women's for tomorrow, Monday. So, that's that whole – they're still around at 64, but we're going to get to that. Tonight, Kansas beat Eastern Washington 93-84. Big-time performance by the Grove brothers on Eastern Washington. But Kansas executed down the stretch, and that's what you need to be able to do this time of the year. It's that simple.
Yeah, one of the twins almost put them out their misery, man. Yeah. They had 15 and 14 rebounds, 58 points and 14 rebounds between them. We saw from Oral Roberts yesterday, two guys put up numbers like that, then that could mean the India season. But like you said, Wilson, Kansas executed. They got it done by committee. Had 5 players in double figures. David McCormack, 22 points, 9 rebounds. He stepped up with Jalen Wilson out, and that's even a bigger performance for him because he was just coming off a battle with COVID. So they didn't even know how much he would play or even if he would be effective. But he did that damage in 25 minutes. So that's huge performance from him, man. With one of their main guys out. But for Eastern Washington, of course, we already mentioned the Grove brothers. Tanner, he had 35 points, 5 rebounds, 5-11 from 3. Jacob Grove, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 4 or 5 from 3. They had a 27-12 run to end the first half. They was up by 8. Man, that upset scare was real. But Kansas bounced back. Of course, Bill Self, he's just experienced. He's been here before. I'm sure he was able to keep them calm and keep them on focus on the mission at hand. They came out in the second half and got it done.
I know McCormick had a big game to kind of battle with Eastern Washington. The Twins did their damage, but ultimately the guard play, Kansas guard play dominated Eastern Washington's guard play. They only, as a team, Kansas only had 6 turnovers, and Agbaji, he had 21 points, fairly efficient, 8 of 17, and then Garrett, he had 20 points and 8 rebounds and 3 assists. So in comparison to Eastern Washington's backcourt, Aiken Jr., 2 points, Perry, 0. So they got dominated. That's the difference. And they literally lost by 9 points. So had those Aiken or Perry gave them anything, it might have been a different story. So that's the Aiken shot 1 for 9, and Perry shot 0 for 1. And remember I said about the lights, he only accepted 1 shot. So there you go.
That's tough. Fifth seed Creighton.
And Perry, he's a senior. Only took 1 shot. 23 minutes.
Senior, something like
he's
that.
A senior. That's a way to have your career in. Even though I know they could come back, everybody got option to come
right.
back. Well, if I'm a senior, I'm taking shots at AI stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 0 for 100 then. So.
And the option to come back.
Man, that's house money at that point.
You got to redeem yourself. You might have to redeem yourself, dog.
Like now you're at a point where you can't even consider not coming back. Yeah. Oh, you ended 0 for 1 in the L. Y'all lost by 9, and you went out like. All right, on the 5th seed Creighton survives the scare from 12 seed UC Santa Barbara. UC Santa Barbara's sick right now. All right, they're very, very, very sick because this isn't one of those. Oh man, we almost had them. You did. They missed the key rebound down the stretch. Then to make it worse, they missed the bunny at the rim. It was a tough L. They did almost everything right. And the sad part is, it's one of those things where even as a lower seed, you're going to be mad at yourself. You can't be mad at anybody but yourself.
Man, so that this is what we mean by physicality affecting the game. So had a bucket. It was a guard. He was trying to take the charge. All you had to do was power up. He powered up and went to the side because he's scared of the call. You can't worry about that. If the ref made the call, that's on him. But you got to power up and finish that. He had a bunny, and he moved to the side, which forced a tougher shot, and he missed on the front row. They got the board or whatever, and then they held it to win. I know he's gonna be sick because that's man. I had to look at that replay a few times just to really see, like, okay, like, did they make contact? He bounced to the side, like, from certain, the regular angle that we're looking at, you can't really see him. When they did it, full court view, yeah. See how he went to the side? You got power. Look right there.
Watch out, dunk it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a layup, dog. That's a bunny. And he looking at the ref like it's supposed to be a foul call. Nah, you avoided contact. You gotta go up through contact, dog. So you 6'9". Who was the Creighton player again? What number was he wearing?
I got you. It's coming up. It's coming up.
Because I just want to see how big Cuz was. All right, here you go.
Number 4.
So
him.
This is crazy.
Yeah, the baby. There you go.
Yeah, that's on him, man. That's terrible.
I'm sorry to keep replaying it, but this is what there's nothing else to replay. Like,
it don't matter about that. I'm just, you gotta go strong, and you've seen a lot of teams lose at the end off of just basic stuff. You can't make the refs have to call something, and typically at the end of the game, they typically swallow their whistle. So they just gonna let y'all play to decide it. So I mean, what you got to lose? You know what I'm saying? Or how about this? You ain't need second best option. Instead of fading to the left and trying to force a layup, why don't you just shoot that little 5-foot float as soon as you caught the ball, or the little mid-range jumper? Why don't you knock that down? So you ain't even got to worry about that. That's if it's in your game or not. So I don't know, but look, man, that's a tough way to go.
Yeah.
Oh, Mitchell, he's 6 feet.
Yeah.
The dude that shot, come on, you 6'9", he's 6 feet. You shouldn't even see him. I'm dunking on your Lord, and that's it. So they lost. They lost us. This is going to haunt them throughout the year, dog. Throughout the summer, I mean, and he a junior, so he got to live with that replay in his mind until next season, man. So yeah, to me, it was a back and forth game. Two well-coached teams. Two teams with heavy experience or whatever and can execute. It's just that Creighton executed one possession better than UC Santa Barbara, and that was the difference, man, because they were pretty much even across the board, different categories and whatnot. Some advantages, but at the end of the day, the score told the tale, man, and Santa Barbara had that chance to have a historic upset. And man, that was tough, man. Because even Charles Barkley said the same thing. Go up through that little dude.
Yeah, man. Like, come on.
6'9", he's 6 feet. You shouldn't even feel that dude.
Right. If there's anything you want to add,
I just want to know, like, what's Creighton's locker room like? Given
the nonsense,
everything going on with their coach. So, I don't know if they even operating at 100% from a mental standpoint, but they toughed this one out. Christian Bishop made those big free throws at the end. And he had 15 points, 11 rebounds for the game, so he was big for them. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they how they go moving forward.
Oh man, I'm still looking at that replay over here. 11 seeded Drake. They had a great first half. They won that matchup to play in. We mentioned the other night that we'll be playing USC. Great first half. Then, the inevitable happened in the second half, and they weren't the only team that's happened to today. You played a great first half. Not only you treaded water, you there, and then the second half happens, and 60 USC, they got them out the way, 32-19 in the second half to get the 72-56 win.
USC big man. The Mobley's, that was the difference, literally. Evan Mobley, all know, is a projected top 3 pick. He can easily go number 1 if he keep doing what he's doing. 7 foot forward. He goes center. Then his older brother, 6'10", and they just control the paint. And they gave him different defenses. Sometimes they went man, sometimes they went zone, and they just confused the hell out of Drake. Drake, 29% from the field, 30% from 3. They couldn't buy a basket. And that played right into USC's hand. The only one that could get it going was Yesufu. And shout out to that dude. That dude, that's a dude that got an NBA talent, Joseph Yusufu, and he's only a sophomore. Nobody on his team could make a shot. They couldn't even get close to getting a quality shot, but he had 26 against a lottery pick, projected top 3 pick, and his older brother might have a shot if he keep going. You feel what I'm saying? So that shows you how dangerous he is. The problem is he was the only one that showed up. No one else had scored in double figures. So he had 26. The next leading scorer was Hemphill, Murphy, and Brody. They all had 6 points.
What else you want him to do?
Yeah, dog. Yusufu, dog. So I knew he was gonna come to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other guys they ain't step up. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, USC size and Lynn Baldwin, man, that's what that goes to show you what it means to have a quality big man in the middle, man. It saves you as a guard. I'm not worried if you beat me. I'm actually hoping you beat me, so he can beat your shit and we can get out running and have fun. So pick your boy.
You got 2 of them down there.
Yeah.
Ray, did you have anything for this one? Or?
Nah, Yesufu just got jumped. That's all it is.
Okay, cool. Love you guys' analysis. Just great right there, straight to the point. Oregon VCU, that game was declared a no contest. Oregon advances to the round of 32. They haven't came out right and said exactly what it is. Just, for the most part, COVID protocols. But again, Oregon VCU was declared a no contest, and Oregon was the team that got the pass to the round of 32. Last 2 games tonight we're touching on as look, man, Ohio, 13-seeded Ohio. They heard about all those upsets yesterday. And they said we want some of that notoriety too. They got it by knocking off 4th-seeded UVA 62-58.
See, we saved you. You see, you about to go there. You about to save the shade. See, you called it though. They don't score enough.
Yeah. That's just what it is, man. Like you never know what you're gonna get from them offensively. And tonight, bad VA showed up. So 35% from the field, 26% from 3. They did. Of course, their defense is going to be consistent. They tried to and they did a good job containing Jason Preston, but he still ended up with a good game. 11 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. He played the entire game. But once Ohio adjusted, started letting them operate off the ball, and that kind of gave them some freedom, to start making things happen. But yeah, man, Virginia, they just couldn't put the ball in the basket. They played defense. They only had 3 turnovers. They just couldn't make a shot. And the way you win a basketball game is you score more points than the other team, and they just couldn't score.
Ben Vanderplas, he hit shots when they needed it down the stretch. To me, he was the difference in the game. I know he got a relationship with Hauser. I think they played together. They was talking about it during the game that they played together coming up on the grassroots level. So, and actually, Vanderplas' father played with Tony Bennett in college. Small world. And so they literally know. Each other. So Vanderplas wasn't, I guess, in awe playing at the University of Virginia. And I got my man over here, so I gotta go ahead and get him the business because I don't want him hitting me up talking about they cooked us and stuff like that. And you could tell there was a little bit of that. They was guarding one another. he was clearing it out and stuff like that. You could just tell. But down the stretch, he was the difference. He had some big threes. Got to the free throw line, made some critical plays, and UVA just come.
You're muted, dog.
Eventually, I'm gonna stop doing that, but probably not. It was a huge win. It was a huge win, and again, they wanted to make sure that somebody got that high level upset this evening. They didn't want 2 days to go without one. But that's tough for UVA, man. That's crazy. So does this mean they're winning the whole thing next year?
Probably.
No, it just means people not paying. Honestly, it just means people not paying attention. I think that mid-major stuff just really don't matter no more. That mid-major, high-major stuff don't matter no more. It ain't like when we grew up where there was no social media and stuff. We playing AAU, you may read about them, but unless you're lucky or at a camp or something during the summer, or you get matched up against them on AAU, you may not see these guys till college. You know what I mean? So, but these kids are competing against 5 stars pretty much since they were kids. They're not in all. And actually, they're mad because they're like, why am I at Ohio and you at Virginia? Just like I just said, Brandon Pauls and Hauser came up playing together. So how's he at UVA? And I had to go to Ohio, low to mid-major, you know what I mean? So, but we're going to see when we match up. And that's what they did. So that's why we're seeing so many competitive games where in years past, especially when we those bigger programs would just slaughter the little programs until they had to meet up with another big program. So, but kudos to Ohio State, man. They earned that. They hit some tough shots down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last but not least tonight, 8-seeded Oklahoma. They survived a late push from 9-seeded Missouri to win 72-68. They're going to advance to the round of 32.
It's just another team, missing a key player, but the other guy stepped up. Davion Harmon is out for Oklahoma, but Austin Reeves had a great game. Brady Manick and Elijah Harkless, they collectively, made up for whatever Harmon couldn't bring them tonight. On the Mizzou side, Drew Smith, he had a big time performance. They tried to make it interesting down the stretch. It looked like Oklahoma was about to pretty much coast to the finish line, but he had those back-to-back threes. And that, and then Reeves forced on the turnover, and I just felt like it was destined for Drew Smith to make another shot, but that last Missouri possession was kind of raggedy, and they ended up having a foul. Oklahoma finished off at the line, but it's a classic 8-9 matchup. They battled back and forth the whole game. It was a good one to watch.
Drew Smith, like you said, he had some big shots down the stretch. But the thing that Oklahoma did where they took the game was at the free throw line. I think they only missed one free throw down the stretch in the last minute. Out of 2, 4, 6, 8, out of 8 attempts, they missed one free throw down the stretch to keep them ahead. That's winning basketball against a team that's pretty much equal to you. We keep saying as we go along this tournament, little things gonna win. And if you focus on the little things, you got a great shot, especially if you got quality guard play or whatnot. Oklahoma's a sleeper team. They're definitely a sleeper team. They're not getting much attention, but they're capable, man. They're capable of going on a run. So people better be careful of them because they also shot lights out today too. It was that's why I be like both teams really couldn't guard one another because they was getting to the free throw line a lot. So it eventually became a shootout down the stretch, but Oklahoma made more shots. You know what I'm saying? And that ended up just being the difference, man. Because like Oklahoma shot 46% from 3, Missouri shot 40%. Then they were pretty much neck and neck at 81% for Missouri and 79% for Oklahoma. So they were neck and neck in those areas. And then Missouri shot 37% from the field, but Oklahoma shot 41%. It was just little details where Missouri missed their shots in the last minute or so. Oklahoma made theirs, and that's the game.
All right, for you guys, last but not least, before we look at tomorrow's schedule and get out of here, players that stood out to you guys on the day.
You know what? I'm gonna throw a shout out. I know Georgetown ain't have a good day. Cute as wild. Without him, it would have been bad.
Yeah, it'd have been worse than what it was, definitely.
But for him to show up, 20 and 12, 7 to 12 shooting from the field, he came ready to play. I know other guys kind of got hot, later and scored in double figures before most of that game. They were just smacking Georgetown around, I know the local ties and everything. OG, they used to Georgetown doing the smacking around. They used to that. They're not used, Ewing has made progress, but there's still some ways to go. That's what it is. But, this is one of those games that, should catapult him to next year where he should be all conference caliber big. Because, look, it wasn't Colorado ain't sweet. And he performed with the rest of pretty much the entire rest of the team struggling. So it would have been easy for Colorado to adjust to stop him, but he kept going state, and he was their most consistent player. So, you got to give it, tip your hat off to him, even though they lost. And Yusufu from Drake, that's a bad boy right there, man. I'm looking at him. I don't want to say who he remind me of because then people gonna bite. But yeah, he definitely got NBA talent because he's tough. He's a tough dude.
Oh, see, I see you with the plug. They gotta wait till the pro drop to get the comp.
Nah, I'll put that out there. I'm just not gonna let people take the comparison because we've seen that happen before.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't want to say no names right
now. There's thieves amongst us. Shout out to everybody tuning on each and every meeting. We appreciate it. We appreciate it though. We like to have fun. That said, tomorrow's schedule. So it's a little bit lighter because, with advancing rounds, man, I'm already doing the math. I'm excited. As soon as they say round of 32, I'm like, 16 games. Let's go. We getting there little by little. Mm-hmm. So tomorrow we got Loyola Chicago taking on Illinois. Hold on, let me go ahead and share the screen real quick for everybody. Y'all see it too. That's how we start today. 1-8 matchup. Should be fun. Illinois still Illinois. The thing we do know about Loyola Chicago is they're not really. They're definitely past the oh my gosh, we're in the NCAA tournament phase. Mm-hmm. I don't care about that. They're gonna come out try to do what they can. Illinois is Illinois. We got 1-9 Baylor, Wisconsin. That should be fun. So we look like we got some decent games tomorrow. Syracuse, West Virginia.
Ooh.
That's going to be a whole lot of fun. Yeah. Arkansas and Texas Tech.
Ooh, yeah. That's going to be a rough one, too.
Here's a very fun one. Rutgers and Houston.
God play about to be crazy in that one.
Yeah, man. Jesus.
All right. 15 seed Oral Roberts trying to see if they can move on to the next round. They're taking on Florida.
Be careful, Florida. Be careful. Don't let that 15 seed fool you. Be careful. They got some hitters over there. Some John Wick got seeds out here, man. If y'all be careful.
No, he's right though. Like that's where that dynamic duo is. Be on your P's and Q's. It gets real. Don't play around. If you get up, finish them. Don't play around. Don't get in a situation where you end up hoping and wishing and spending the summer thinking about what you could have did. Don't end up in that situation. North Texas, Villanova. That should be fun. We got Oregon State and Oklahoma State to end the night. So we got some fun games on the men's side. Then again, just a reminder, the women's side, the women's tournament kicks off tomorrow. So we got a full day of women's games too. So tomorrow night, we'll be on here tomorrow night for Wizards Outlook within the Madness, both the men's and women's side.
3 shows.
3 tomorrow. We'll see you guys for 2 shows on Monday because that'll be the second day of the women's tournament. Then the last day for the men's of, this weekend right here. And then, we'll see you Tuesday night.
We working, man. Look, man. Just man.
Hey, look, man. It's so bad. I'm just trying to put my head down and get the Fridays. That's just
I know, right?
Friday, right? Get the Friday, but it's always bad. Get over to the Focus TV. It's right up here. It's real easy. Got all the different ways you can watch and follow along. And don't forget, Continually, guys, let you guys know. Talk, tweet, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do. You got something you want to mention, you want to share, we will see it. We will get back to you on it. We will respond right here on air. So do that, whether you're commenting on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. We will see you. So y'all have a great night, and we'll see you guys. We'll be spending the night with you guys tomorrow night. Yeah, be here for a while Sunday night.